May profits be upon you. Welcome to another midweek market update. All right, haven't done one of these in a minute, and I thought this week would be appropriate. That's it. All right, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. All right, now we're going to look at gold. All right, we're going to look at the metals, but we're going to start with gold. All right, looking at the monthly time frame, what are we seeing? Well, there is since let's see, since this low here made it on November 1st, we have not seen a sweep of the previous monthly low. That means 1, 2, 3, 4 months going on 5 months of no sweep of the previous monthly low. That's a lot of liquidity under these lows. But it's incredible that it's been such an impulsive move to the upside. And there is no sign that it's stopping now. It's just keeps going up. So anybody, planning on taking shorts or whatever like that, you can do it if you want to, but I wouldn't. On the weekly, you can see that we have developed a weekly fair value gap right there, right on that low and this high. We got a weekly fair value gap. All right, I'm going to mark it out where you can see it clearly on the daily, right here and here. This is the weekly fair value gap that is untouched, right? To this point, to my earlier point, no lows have been swept. But as soon as one does, look, if we get a dip into this fair value gap, this weekly fair value gap. Now, again, we're looking at the daily time frame. But if we get a sweep in this weekly fair value gap, uh, uh, I'm looking for price to react in some kind of way to where it may find a support. But what I don't want to look past is this here. If I can get that off, all right. What I don't want to look past is this daily fair value gap here. All right. This is a small one. It's relatively thin, if you will, but it is a legitimate daily fair value gap here. And the next candle could very, very well tap into this this daily fair value gap and continue higher from it. All right. I'm looking for some kind of reaction here. All right. Honestly. All right. Now we have the weekly fair value gap under here. I can't get it to write like I want it to. Okay. Why isn't it writing? Okay. That's why. All right. We have the weekly here, but we got this daily to deal with. All right. I want to see how the next candle holds or folds. All right. I want to see the next candle continue higher, or at least react to it. Now, the fact that it pulled back into the 50% area of the range of this candle here allows me to entertain the thought that it may find support and go higher, as it as has been its way to do for the last few weeks. All right, but we're gonna I'm reactive in this market. All right, I want to see. I want to make sure that the market confirms that it does want to go higher and not lower. Now, on the 4 hour, do we have any impulsive, not impulsive, but displacements to the downside? No, no, and no. All right, no bearish fair value gaps here. All right, and we're getting ready to run into this bullish fair value gap here, which is a 4 hour fair value gap. All right, with the daily tucked inside of it. All right, I'm looking for price to possibly find some support for higher prices. That's what I'm looking for in gold. All right, and I'm gonna be looking at the today's low, which is, let me see, let me get you a legitimate number, 3379. 3379 on the gold futures. Okay. Now, if we look at silver, silver is a little different, a little bit different. Not as bullish, not as bullish, but very interesting to watch. Why? All right, if we go to the monthly, you can see it's choppy. It's not leaving. You don't see the big bullish fair value gaps uh, pushing price higher. You don't see that. You don't see the displacements moving higher. What you do see is this big rebounding respect wick here. Price came all the way down here and then turned around. All right, that's notable. All right, could we see some follow through with this? Uh, there is that possibility. If we look at the weekly, what do we see? Aha, we have a weekly bearish fair value gap, and price pulled right back into that, and you see how all this big momentum kind of stopped here. Boop. All right, so this bears watching, don't you think? And if we look at the daily, all right, this is the daily. We have a daily fair value gap that price is running into right now and moving sideways in. Now, it can poke through this thing, but this is also daily fair value gap that's overlapping a weekly fair value gap. All right, so there's some confluences that point to a bearish reaction. We'll see. All right, we'll see how this works out. Price did have a displacement, bullish displacement into that bearish fair value gap, the weekly and daily uh, bearish fair value gaps. So I am watching price very closely, and I want to see a close above these highs. I would like to see a close above these relative equal highs here. Come on, man. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. All right. I want to see a close above these highs before I start thinking price is just going to continue higher. All right. I want to see a confirmation. I want to see, this is what I want to see. All right. If price moves up, I want to see it pull back and then continue higher. All right. Pull back into uh, the top of the range at the point of the breakout, find support and continue higher. That's what I would like to see before I start taking bullish trades. All right. Because it's ranging right now, right here. I also want to see it happen on the other side. I want to see this low being broken and close below. I want to see a candle body close below the range low. All right, that way I can see price pulling back and continuing down. I want to watch what kind of candles forms that break. All right, uh, will it displace to the downside? Will I see a bearish fair value gap feed into another bearish fair value gap as it's going down, which would confirm the bias? All right, that's what I want to see. I'm not going to go on the first break. I want to see price pull back and then see another break happen. This is where I get a higher probability trade to the downside. So we'll see. We're watching this range at, sorry, always picking the wrong day. Come on, man. You just, all right. So I'm watching this range at these highs. All right. One at 33.17 and the other one at 32. Nope, not 32. The other one at 32.11. All right. That's what I want to see. I want to see a break and a close beyond that high or that low before I start to think to take a trade in this market. All right. If we go to the copper, if we go to copper is in a very good place. All right. You see how it's been charging up. These are rather impulsive candles on the weekly. One, two, three. We're in the third week. this is a pretty compelling evidence that price may want to go high, may want to correct this candle. All right. Let me see something here. And what we can see is on a weekly basis, we have a come on, man. This thing is we have a weekly fair value gap that price is trading up into right now. All right. And if we go down to the daily, we can see that there is a daily fair value gap within the bearish weekly fair value gap. That price is now, uh, you know, tapping, and we're going to see what the reaction is. What I wanted to see is price reacting in a bearish way where we start to close below some lows. I want to see a candle body close below those lows. And when price pulls back up, this is going to present a better setup for a sell. All right. If we look at the 4 hour, what we can see, the way I look at the market is we broke that high. All right. This makes this our fractal low. This makes this our fractal high. All right. As long as the fractal low holds, as long as that fractal low holds, uh, we should be thinking bullishly. All right. And this low is the most recent low, which caused that market structure shift to the upside. So really, after this low, if I see candles, if I see price start to close below this low, when that low fails, that is my earliest sign that the market is shifting from bullish to bearish. All right, and once I see a close below that low, that is just extra confirmation in my view. I hope you guys can follow my logic. Now, if price does get a close below those, right? I'm looking at the pullback. Is there a bearish fair value gap in there? Is there a displacement? Did it pull back to it? That's when I would be interested in taking further sells from this POI, this big old daily bearish fair value gap, which is nested in a weekly fair value gap. So you have overlapping confluences here, and that's always a good thing. That's always a good thing. Now, should price, just keep going higher and fill this daily fair value gap, I'm going to be definitely looking for prices to continue higher, and I want to see if there's a displacement. If it pushes up that way, does it displace? All right, does it leave a fair value gap for it to return to and use as support to seek higher prices? That's what I'll be looking for. You understand? All right. So we're at a key area, and it's very interesting. What's the name? Platinum. If we go to platinum, let's go to the weekly. You see how it's been kind of rough to trade. It's been rough. However, if we get through, we look at it hard, we can see that price made it all the way down to the bottom of the range, sweeping all these lows. This is a lot of liquidity, folks. A lot of liquidity for a trip up. All right. Does it mean we're going to the top? No, but there's a good indication that that's a possibility. All right. And what I want you to see here is, again, we have a bearish fair value gap here, right? Prices filled that bearish weekly fair value gap. Filled it, right? But then once it gets to the top, it started to turn around. Look at that. Look at that. So don't be too quick to count out these fair value gaps. Don't be too quick to say, "Oh, as soon as I get in, I'm gonna go bearish." Or as soon as it gets past the 50% of the fair value gap, that means it's probably the fair value gap is probably going to fail. Don't be too quick to do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Price came up into that fair value gap, didn't quite close above it, right? Didn't quite close above it. And the next candle came and swept that high and turned bearish. All right. I there's a good reason to think because price has already swept this high, it took an external external range liquidity that it will be seeking internal range liquidity. And where's that internal range liquidity? Do you see any here? Not on the weekly. However, if we go to the daily, we can see that there's some areas that price could look at. One is right here. There's a daily fair value gap here. There's a daily fair value gap there. All right. We can see that price came up into this weekly fair value gap where you see that gray dotted line. All right. Which is overlapped by this daily fair value gap. All right. Starting here, ending there. All right. All these things point to bearish a bearish bias, and you see how price played out bearish on the 21st, and bearish behind that on the 20 today's the 22nd. Yes, I'm sorry. So swept the high, and then we start coming down. All right, could we turn around one of these bullish fair value gaps? We certainly could, or we could continue down. We're going to find out. The fact that you see that dotted line I have here, that shows a market structure shift, in my view, from bullish, from bullish to bearish. All right. I'm looking for a second one. All right. I'm looking for a second one to confirm that market structure shift. All right. And what do I look for? The way the candle forms when it breaks these structure points, these points of interest. And what do we see here? We have a bearish fair value gap on the 4-hour. All right, price could definitely use that in order to go lower for sure, but it seems to be going in that direction on its own, sweeping these lows here for liquidity. This isn't a really strong area of demand at all, so I'm looking at price continuing down to this low right there for another liquidity draw. That's what I'm going to look, sell side liquidity draw right there. So I'm going to put the dollar sign on that, and that is at 948.7. 948.7. All right, I think that we are headed towards that, but this will be the immediate target. But I think this one will probably be hitting that one. So I like the way the market kind of rounded over here, where it pushes, sweeps, swing, fail. All right, fails to make a new high, instead takes out the low. All right, takes out it makes a market structure shift, takes out this low here, and I like the way it's moved. It could trail up here, but use this bearish fair value gap to go lower. That's what I'm looking at, folks. I am bearish in this market. I am not bullish in this market. So just based on the technical structure. So we're going to find out how it goes. All right. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this midweek update. All right. But I never put out a forecast on this one. So this one can't really be, this is really more of a midweek forecast for gold, silver, copper, and platinum. Yeah. So my apologies actually on not putting out something this week on these markets here, these 4 markets here. But well, now you have it. I'm hoping that if you trade it right, it allows you to forgive me for not putting it out in the first place. Okay. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you leave some comments and questions, and I will see you in the next video.